Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Arlington 60 Plus Connection. I'm Christine Shaw, the Executive Director of the Council on Aging, and we're so happy to have you back watching our latest episode to show you what is going on with the Council on Aging and various activities around town for the seniors of Arlington. Welcome. Today, I'd like to start off by giving a brief update on what is going on with the COVID-19 vaccine situation in Arlington. Many of you know, you've heard the updates from the CDC and the governor about various levels of reopening. In Arlington, we are proud of the amount of people that have received the vaccine, but we are still working hard to get more people vaccinated, especially in our 75 plus age range category. As of this recording, we still have over 600 older adults who are unvaccinated. We want to make sure that any of those people that want to be vaccinated have an opportunity to get vaccinated. So if you know of anybody in Arlington over age 75 that needs a vaccination, please call us or have them call us, 781-316-3400. And we will get something set up for you. Our nurse is able to go to folks that are homebound. And we also have relationships with various clinics. And luckily, anybody who calls right now, we're able to get vaccinated within a couple days. So I encourage you to do so. And if you have any questions, please feel free to call us at the number on the screen, and we can help you get your COVID-19 vaccine so that everybody is as safe as possible as things reopen. That said, we have an exciting show today, lots of really great topics. We are going to be later in the show talking about our outdoor programs that will be starting since the summer weather is with us. Hopefully for the next 3 or 4 months or so, we'll all be able to get outside and safely see people, maybe from a bit of a distance still, but have those opportunities to get together, which is exciting for everybody. But first, today, I am thrilled to finally kind of talk about the Arlington Seniors Association. They are huge partners of the Council on Aging. We work together with them here at the Senior Center at 27 Maple Street to make sure that there's great programs for people in Arlington, great luncheons, great talks, great holiday events, and we work with them really closely to make sure that all of our programs cover everything that you want to see as a senior living in Arlington. So we have 2 fantastic people here with us today. The first is Malcolm Hamilton, and I'd like to welcome Malcolm to the show. He is the current Arlington Seniors Association president, and he has been with us for quite a few years. He's about to technically retire from the role, but I am thrilled to have Malcolm here with us today. Welcome, Malcolm.
I'm glad to be here.
Great. Malcolm and I have connected virtually quite a bit throughout the pandemic. He does attend some of our COA board meetings, and I have to say, many of the successes that the Seniors Association has had over the past few years have been under Malcolm's leadership. So we want to talk to him today and get to know the Arlington Seniors Association a little bit better. Do you want to start, Malcolm, by talking about, how long you've been with the ASA and what really the history is of the ASA in Arlington?
I'll be delighted to if my voice holds up. I'm having a pollen problem, I think. Let me mute. There. You don't need to listen to me cough. The Arlington Seniors Association has a very interesting history, and its connection with the Council on Aging is not well understood by a lot of people. So being an inveterate historian, let me give you a brief rundown. The Older Americans Act of 1965 required each state to establish a state unit on aging designed to lead to the development or enhancement of comprehensive and coordinated community-based systems in or serving communities throughout the state, unquote.
Mhm.
In Massachusetts, that agency is the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, and under its guidance, the Arlington Council on Aging was established in 1967. By early in the 1980s, the COA was located in Jarvis House at 50 Pleasant Street, which is a white house near Mass Avenue, and it included their offices and a drop-in room for seniors. The building was built in 1831, and its small rooms and narrow hallways were ill-suited for its purpose, either that or of welcoming the seniors. In 1980, the COA established the Arlington Seniors Association. At that time, the ASA was to take over from the council the running of senior center services. In January 1981, the Articles of Incorporation under Massachusetts general laws were approved by the Secretary of State, and in June of 1981, the Arlington Seniors Association, Inc. was officially created as an independent corporation. In October 1981, the IRS approved the Arlington Seniors Association as a nonprofit charitable organization and issued its tax ID number. And according to the original charter, the purpose of the ASA was to stimulate and promote the quality of life for seniors in Arlington, age 60 or over, by planning, developing, and coordinating educational, recreational, and charitable services to enrich their lives.
And this isn't the renovation that we're undergoing now isn't the first renovation in this building. Can you share anything about past renovations of COA spaces and possibly in this very building?
In November 1982, the selectmen voted that the nearby Central School's ground and main floors would be the new location of the senior center. And the new center was to house Adult Day Health Center at COA offices on the ground floor. The first floor, which we've come to call the main floor, was to be managed by the Seniors Association to focus on recreational, educational, and nutritional services. Originally, ASA was in charge of congregate meals, but not Meals on Wheels. The selectmen approved $400,000 in community block grants for a multi-purpose senior center. And in April 1984, the ASA moved from its temporary quarters in the Central School to make way for the renovation that's beginning to sound very familiar,
Mhm.
and moved into the First Baptist Church of Arlington on Mass Ave. The association began a fundraising drive to furnish the multi-purpose senior center and eventually contributed $103,000 to the project. And it was not unusual to hear, even recently, someone with a long history with the senior center saying, "That's our couch. We bought that." And
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
getting past that ownership aspect. Anyway, the association moved into the newly renovated senior center in May 1986. And on Town Day, in that year, the ribbon cutting ceremony took place, and the senior center officially opened. And the association continues to exist today, often seeking a role to justify its existence. The current membership is about 500 persons, 77% female and 23% male.
Hmm.
Uh, when
That's all really, really interesting, Malcolm. And I appreciate you taking the time to give that historical view of what, the Arlington Senior Association's relationship has been with the town and with the Council on Aging and with the building. So thank you for the historical lesson. I think everybody that watching probably learned something. I know I did, and it kind of gives some good context for how the organization kind of developed and is working with the COA to this day. And very interesting that you pointed out that the Arlington Seniors Association fundraised to furnish the then new senior center in 1984, 6, I believe you said. Because we're kind of at that point again, aren't we? Because we're
doing it again.
We're doing it again. It's 2021, almost 30, believe it or not, 30, 40 years later. And it's time for a renovation, and we're still working with the Senior Association to get it done. So moving on, you've been president for a while. You just talked about the organization, but I'd love to hear some of your personal reflections on some of your favorite memories as the president of this organization. Would you like to share one or two?
Well, I think what I take away from my 8 years as president is the fact that I've gained a lot of new friends, people whom I never would have met. I probably would not have been a regular user of the senior center, even though I can see the top of it from this office where I'm sitting. But I've made some friends who will probably stay with me as long as I stay in Arlington.
Wonderful. That's why I like to really do this work, is to keep people connected. And really at any age you can make new friends. People's friends change over their lifetime, and I always hope that this place and our programs are an opportunity for people to make new connections, new friends, new relationships. So I'm glad that you got that out of your role. What do you see? I mean, you've been a fixture around here for quite some time. What do you see your role being going forward, or how do you plan to stay involved? I hope.
Well, the past president role is to be an advisor, to take on any task that the president requests. The only statutory thing in the bylaws is that I become chair of the bylaws committee, and that's payment for 8 years of hard work. But they need looking at.
So you're going to stay involved, it sounds like, or stay around. And I think that's a perfect transition to our next guest, who's going to join us. Is Claire Foley, who has volunteered to take the reins of president of the Arlington Senior Association, along with Joanne Morrell. She's not able to be here with us for this show today, but she is going to be Claire's partner in crime, I am told, and I'm really excited to work with them both. Claire, I'd love to welcome you to the show.
Well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And
to follow Malcolm, though, 8 years of towing the line for everybody. He's been great. So I am going to rely a lot on him. Believe me, he hasn't retired.
Well, he just said he's going to still stay involved. So you've heard it here. But, so Claire, how did you decide to take on this role?
Well, the reason was I didn't want to see us not have a president. Nobody wanted to volunteer, and it's a big job. And I just said, oh, that's going to be the end of it if we don't have a president. And Malcolm really was burnt out. He has done a fantastic job. And so I sort of said, all right, I'll step up to the podium. There were some things that, with board members we discussed we would like to do and whatever. So I
Mhm.
just said, okay, I'll do it. And that's
Awesome.
it, really. It's right now it's like we're in limbo because we have some ideas, and
Yeah.
I've been working on.
What are some of your ideas, Claire, that you have going forward? I'm just curious.
Okay, well, I would like to see more guest speakers. I've already lined up the secretary to Julia Child to come and talk to our group. And
Ooh.
so it's just when we're up and running that we can zero in on a date, and she's willing to come and talk about her association with Julia. And so she's on my agenda as number one. I've looked at people in our own town who are very talented, that I would like to come and maybe have them talk about their experiences. We have some famous writers living in town,
Mhm.
and hopefully they won't want to, sell their books, but will be willing to talk about how they come about. I have a relative in England who was on uh, the New York Times bestseller list. He's coming with his family in the summer. So hopefully we could have an impromptu event and have somebody from England come and talk about his book. He's a young fella, and
Wow.
an interesting thing. So I think
You have
along.
a lot of great ideas. Like I can already tell. That's the thing about changing leadership too, is everybody has their strengths, and it sounds like you have some great ideas for kind of some fresh things that maybe we haven't seen before. Um, how long have you been involved with the senior
Well,
association?
it's amazing. I've been a member, and I say member, for 10 years, but I've only been active for 2 years. And that's when I was asked to fill a position on the board.
Mhm,
I probably came only once to an event there in those 10 years. Of course, I was still working.
mhm,
Uh, but I just felt that what they what they had going on there at the time in my life, I didn't need. But
mhm,
now I need it. I'm home, I'm retired. I love being with the people there. I've made some new friends. And I think that's what the center should be about, is people coming together. There are a lot of people that live alone, and we're fortunate that we have a bus service. We don't have to drive there. They'll pick you
mhm,
up, take you
mhm,
back. So those are the things that I want to encourage, is that it's more come. You just come for a cup of coffee, stay a
mhm,
couple of hours, get out of your little apartment or your house, and meet other people. People need stimulation, and that's what
mhm.
we hope to bring to the seniors there.
Yeah. And I think, the welcoming attitude you just shared with getting new people, encouraging people to come out if they're alone. That can be scary for some people, but I think when we reopen with a new, fresh center, I think there'll be good reason for a lot of people to start coming out. And it's okay if they never have before. They can start coming anytime, just like you did, right?
Right,
It
right.
was great.
Uh,
And I know you're going to be partnering with Joanne. She shared today that she's equally as excited to be in the role and to work with you to make the Seniors Association really great going forward. So I think we're about out of time for this piece, but I encourage if any of the viewers out there have questions about the Arlington Seniors Association or want to get involved, you can give us a call and we're happy to put you in touch with Claire or Malcolm or any of the ASA volunteers. Please reach out. I know they have positions available as volunteers, as do we at the COA. So we'll see what kind of works best. But I hope everybody and all the viewers have enjoyed this glimpse into the Arlington Seniors Association. And a huge thank you to Malcolm for giving us his experience and the history lesson on how the ASA came to be and the relationship with the COA and what all those acronyms mean, because sometimes they're confusing. And I appreciate the chat that we've able to had today, Claire. Yes.
We're really looking forward to our new home, believe me.
Good.
And
We can't wait to have everybody back in person too. Yes, it'll be great. But thank you for being here today, Claire. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Christine.
I'm glad that we were able to talk to Malcolm and Claire today. There's so many volunteers that make up the Arlington Senior Association. They're both leaders in the organization, but there's, like they said, over 200 volunteers that they have. There are people that are here when we're open, welcoming people to the building, running events, running luncheons, greeting people at a desk. So if you're interested in any of those volunteer roles, please reach out, like I said. So now I believe it's time to move on to the newsletter corner segment of our program. Every episode, we like to end with this so you can get a glimpse of what's happening moving forward. Our Arlington Seniors Association programs and our COA programs can all be found in our newsletter. So I'd like to welcome Chris Angel. She is with us.
Hi, Christine.
Hi, as always.
Working on a June newsletter now.
Yep, Chris is always working on the newsletters. The June newsletter, I have a copy too, is awesome. We have so much going on, and I'm going to let Chris give some highlights. What's going on, Chris?
Yeah, well, I just want to say a quick thank you to Malcolm. I worked with him a lot for the past 4 years doing the newsletter, and I'm really excited to hear what Claire was just talking about, what's coming up, because every activity we do is a way for seniors to get out and meet people. So I'm really excited about what's coming up. And I'm excited about our outdoor program.
Oh my gosh, it's happening.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah, so what are some of the outdoor programs that we have coming up? I'm so excited to offer in person.
I'm very excited to tell you about 4 of the programs that are coming up, especially chair yoga. We have an instructor coming back who we haven't seen for over a year, who everybody really loved. Mimi Izzo is coming back to teach chair yoga. It's going to be outdoors, and it's going to be at Robin's Garden. And
where is Robin's Garden, Chris? Sorry to interrupt.
Let me tell you where Robin's Garden is. It's somewhere that you probably know, but you might not know what it's called. It's the big grassy area that's between the library and town hall. And there's also the statue of the Indian drinking from the fountain. And I think everybody does know where that is, but a lot of us didn't know that it's called Robin's Garden.
Got it. Thank you.
That's where all of our outdoor programs are going to be, except for Walking Club. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute.
Okay.
So yeah. So
besides chair yoga, what's going to be happening?
So besides chair yoga, we have a social group called Yarn and Yarn, which is hosted by Marcy. That's going to be once a month. Yarn and Yarn is just a fun way to get to see people. And then we also have the LGBTQ plus and friends group, also hosted by Marcy. That's going to be once a month too. All 3 of those are in Robin's Garden. And then I'm very excited about the Walking Club.
Yeah, tell us about that.
All right, well, that's hosted by Shannon. The Walking Club is going to be at McLennan Park, which is Summer Street, the end of Summer Street going towards Lexington. And I just want to say quickly, all of these events, you can take the senior van. So don't worry if you don't want to park, don't want to take the bus, don't know where it is, we'll get you there. So when you call to find out more about this, make an appointment to take the van. So the walking club is going to be once a week, hosted by Shannon. We're also going to have our nurse, Joanne Sliney, there to take your blood pressure.
Great.
This is a great way. If you want to walk a couple of feet or if you want to walk a mile, come to the walking club. You're going to see your friends. You're going to talk about your health. You're going to get some fresh air. And I really hope that no matter how you're feeling that you'll come to the walking club.
Awesome. So, you know, I'm so excited that people have an opportunity to come out in person if they're ready. And if they
Yes.
feel like they're ready, everybody's at different points of what they're comfortable with, since we've all, you know, been indoors for so long. But I want to make clear that we are also going to be continuing our virtual programs at the same time. So you can still do
Yes.
those. What are some of the virtual programs we have?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So as far as the virtual programs, we still have tons of exercise online. So even if you're not going to make it to chair yoga in person, we have a different chair yoga online. We have muscle strengthening and we have general exercise. We have an exercise program online almost every day. And then, as I was mentioning, Marcy's two groups, the social groups, those are still virtual. Even if you can't come to the one that's in person, you can join it virtually. And then we have some really neat special events. We have a tour of the Wang Theater in Boston. It's a live tour, and you can sign up for that, and it'll be just like you're there. And we also have a really neat program coming up. It's virtual. It's a Boy Scout kind of campfire event with storytelling and songs. But then we have a fun component called the Grab and Go. You can come by our office in the morning in your car or on foot, and we'll give you a little packet so you can make some s'mores at home. So we have a half in-person, half virtual event. And we're excited to keep on doing virtual things because, you know, that gets people connected, even if they're not feeling like they can leave their home. But we're also excited. We're planning as many outdoor events as we can. And, you know, all the rules around COVID are changing day by day. So by the time we come out with the next newsletter, there might be some new things that we can do that we don't know about right now.
Awesome. Yeah, and I did see in the newsletter that it is Pride Month in June. So I noticed Marcy has a bunch of LGBTQIA plus events I just wanted to mention. So anybody who's interested in participating in those, I strongly encourage you to participate. It is such a welcoming list of events. One of the ones that they're having is a grab and go event. It is a Pride swag grab and go, which sounds really fun. But this one sounded really, really fun. It's virtual and it's drag bingo. It's going to be happening Friday, June 18th. And there's going to be some great fun and excitement to be had.
It's going to be very fun. And you know what I like about these events that Marcy is doing as well? They include everybody. Anybody can come to it, and they're intergenerational. So you can be with teenagers to somebody who's 99.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of those events.
Yes. So any of these events, I have to say, June is such a busy month. Chris just did a great highlight, but when you see our June newsletter in person, you're going to want to go through it and write into your date book all of the different things we have going on. And don't forget to call us to register, 781-316-3400. As Chris said, if you're not ready to drive to events yet, we'll pick you up in the van, no problem at all. We can get you there. We can answer your questions. And if you're not on the newsletter mailing list, you can also call the same number and get added. Chris, is there anything else you wanted to say? This newsletter is wonderful as always.
Yeah, no, I'm just really looking forward to, you know, we're doing more and more things every month and just really wanting people to get out, and really we're getting close to our new senior center opening. Our building is under construction right now, but it's coming. Our new center is coming and we can't wait.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris, for being here as always. It's
you.
Definitely an exciting time. So thank you for being here. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Christine.
Thanks. Well, there you have it. The end of another episode of the Arlington 60 Plus Connection. We had great talks with members of the Arlington Seniors Association, and I want to thank Malcolm Hamilton, our current ASA president, and our incoming president, Claire Foley, for taking the time to be with us today. I also want to thank Chris Angel for always being here to talk about what's coming up in the newsletter. And again, please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or want to get more involved. Again, my name's Christine Shaw, the Executive Director of the Arlington Council on Aging, and I want to thank you for joining us today.